Okay, whoa. You gotta bring that shit back.
It's good to have you with us.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the GoldenBaby channel. I'm back with another video on Megan Thee Stallion because a couple of things have happened and I want to get into it. So let's get into it. All right. So Megan had graced the cover of the GQ magazine. She was also given the title of Rapper of the Year by GQ, and we'll get into that later because a lot of people don't like that. But right now, I want to get into her interview that she did where she claimed that Tory Lanez tried to bribe her and Kelsey with money to keep quiet about the whole incident. Now, this has been out for about a day now, so I understand some of you may have already heard it, but I'm still going to read it. Feel free to skip over if you need to. So y'all remember when Tory had made that tweet on Twitter and he had said that he was going to address his side of the whole situation later on that night? Everybody thought that he was going to go live on Instagram or something, but he ended up releasing a surprise tell-all album telling his side of the story, which really wasn't nothing at all. Well, this interview was done on that same day, and it was actually only a few hours before the interview took place that Tory made that tweet, and obviously Megan had seen it. So as they're getting started to have this interview, they're sitting down and everything. They weren't planning on talking about the situation so soon in the interview, but Megan's already teary-eyed just thinking about it. So she goes on to tell the interviewer, like, you know, they were all at the pool party in Hollywood Hills. Of course, we know it's Kylie's party, and they all just got into the SUV getting ready to leave. Her, Tory, and she doesn't name anybody, but we know it's Kelsey and the bodyguard. She said that she didn't put clothes on over her bathing suit because, you know, she was just going home. Like, they were supposed to just go home. She was going to go to her house. Her house was supposedly just a couple of minutes away. So, you know, no big deal. Then it goes on to say, Megan often tells herself, always trust your first mind. Her way of saying, listen to your gut. That night, her first mind told her to get out of the car and find another way home. She tried exiting the vehicle to call for a different ride, but her phone died. It was late. She was in a bikini, and everyone was telling her to just get back in the car, so she did, even though there was an argument brewing up. Megan doesn't want to get into the specifics of the dispute, who started it, what it was about, but ultimately it doesn't matter. As has been reported, when she tried to get out of the car again and walk away, according to Megan, Lanez started shooting at her feet, wounding her. She tells me, the interviewer, the rest with disbelief still in her voice. Like, I never put my hands on nobody, she says. I barely even said anything to the man who shot me when I was walking away. We were literally like 5 minutes away from the house. After he shot, she says, Lanez begged her not to say anything. She says he offered Megan and her friend money to stay quiet. At this point, I'm really scared, Megan says, because this is like right in the middle of all the protesting. Police are just everybody for no reason. And I'm thinking, I can't believe you even think I want to take some money. Like, you just shot me. Then it goes on to say a lawyer for Lanez denied that the rapper offered Megan and her friend money. When the cops arrived, Megan says she just wanted to avoid trouble. She worried they'd get arrested or end up victims of police brutality if they were found with a weapon. The first thing she said to the responding officers who noticed her bloody feet was, I got cuts. Later in October, Lanez will be charged with felony assault, but in the immediate aftermath, as details and questions dripped into the news and onto social media, the incident became the kind of he said, she said that Twitter loves to litigate. Then it goes on to just talk about, you know, what happened afterwards on social media. Then it says, she clears her throat, Megan. When I was growing up, my mom didn't have any help with me. Everybody was doing everything that they could do to help, but it was only so much that my grandmother could do. And it was like, there'll be times that I'm in an apartment with my mama and I know something's wrong, but I don't know what it is. She pauses and tugs down her hat. Megan's mother, Holly Thomas, we know that she passed away last year. And then it goes on to say, then it goes on to talk about, everything about her friends and how she called them and told them, like, how come you didn't call me? And then ever since then, they've been supportive and been checking up on her. So the main topic has been that one part about, she's saying that shortly after that happened, Tory had bribed her and seemingly bribed her friend to get them not to say anything. However, what I want to talk about is what the Breakfast Club had to say about Megan going to GQ rather than coming onto the Breakfast Club. Now, earlier today, the Breakfast Club YouTube channel uploaded a snippet of their show, and this snippet was the rumor report. And in this report, they were talking about Megan Thee Stallion, and they also went on to talk about Jeremiah. But when they were talking about Megan Thee Stallion, Charlamagne brought up the fact that Megan is supposed to come on to the Breakfast Club this week. We all know she's releasing her album Good News on Friday, so she will be doing, I assume, a lot of interviews and a lot of media. But it seems like Charlamagne and especially DJ Envy have an issue with Megan speaking on the whole Tory Lanez situation with GQ magazine. But when it comes to the Breakfast Club, she supposedly has this whole list of things they cannot ask her, and specifically on that list is everything and pretty much anything about the Tory Lanez situation. I'll let you guys listen to a little bit of it, but I don't really think I want that copyright claim. So if you want to watch the whole part, you will have to go to the Breakfast Club YouTube channel.
Meg was supposed to be here this week. They had a long laundry list of things not to talk to her about, and it was all Tory Lanez and that situation related.
When she goes to the black press and black publications, there's a list that the label sends out that, don't ask her about this.
Now, we also
have a long
don't know
list of things not
sometimes
to talk about.
You're right.
if it's the artist
It's probably not
sending
her.
that list out, or
I'm
if
sure-
it's the label and representation saying that.
Because they asked us not to ask 50 about Donald Trump
And he brought
this
it up.
morning.
We were the ones supporting her before any white publication even knew who she was.
But I just think it's whack when
Then
her
the label is
representatives
foul for that.
do that.
But yeah, Charlamagne and DJ Envy were just talking about, we're the ones who talked about you before you were popping, before the white publications knew who you were. We're your people. You shouldn't have no issue coming to us. If you have something that we can't say, how come the white publications can ask about it or talk to you about it? So I'm so glad that Angela brought up the fact that it could very well just be Megan's team that drew up this list of things not to ask her, just like any other artist's team may do the same thing. Just like how they said 50 Cent, his team told them not to ask questions about Donald Trump, but then when 50 Cent got there, he's the one who actually brought it up. Some situations, you might just want to let the person you're interviewing bring that up, and then once they bring that up and show that they're comfortable with talking about it, then you can continue to talk about it, because this is a real life situation for Megan. This is not something that she may want to talk about every single day or every single time she's doing something media related, especially when she's just trying to promote her music and her album. Understandably, people want to talk about that because it's still a hot topic right now when it comes to Megan, but once again, like I said, it's a very personal topic as well. And my second point is that Megan is supposed to be coming on the Breakfast Club this week, right? The GQ magazine interview was done in September. Yeah, it's coming out this week, but it was done 2 months ago. As it said, it was done on the same day that Tory released the Daystar album, which was on September 25th. So at that time, Megan probably was okay with talking about it, but given everything that has happened, especially the album coming out and then just more speculations, she may not want to even talk about that anymore. And with the GQ interview, the way that I read it, the way that it sounded to me, was as if they weren't even planning on talking about that topic in that way or that early. It just so happened that Tory was doing what he was doing on social media, and Megan was already in her emotions when she got to the interview. So it ended up coming up sooner and probably more in depth than they anticipated it being. And then the third thing that I want to say is that I'm gonna be 100% honest. Like, a lot of the times the black publications are super freaking messy. And I'm not saying that white publications aren't messy, but just to take into the Breakfast Club into consideration, like, there's a history of a lot of messiness going on at the Breakfast Club. As far as I know, Charlamagne has gotten a lot better with his disrespect, but he used to be very, very disrespectful, specifically to women, specifically to black women. Now, I don't know how it is now because I don't watch anything that has to do with the Breakfast Club now these days, but they do have that past reputation. So maybe she don't want to open the door to give anybody the opportunity for them to be disrespectful about something that's happened to her in her personal life. And this situation kind of reminds me of a couple months ago when I did the video on Jason Lee, when he was so upset at Megan Thee Stallion because she didn't want to come on to his platform and on his show, but she went over to Marie Claire.
But my thing is that why you drop your album and only 40,000 copies sold, and you on the cover of Marie Claire, but you ain't been on Hollywood Unlocked? Ain't no white girls cooking in the kitchen on Marie Claire buying your shit. But the people watching this show are your people. She's with Rock Nation. Her manager, Christy, misguiding her career. Don't return a phone call. Then you got her publicist, whoever that is, probably some white chick telling she's going to be somebody by being on the cover of Marie. Claire, I have a problem with that. Who is Marie Claire?
And he felt so entitled to have Megan on his show. At the end of the day, these artists and these celebrities do not owe anybody anything unless you particularly did something for them and they said they're going to do something back for you, then they don't owe you anything. They don't have to come on to your show. They don't have to do what you want them to do. And that's just the fact at the end of the day. And in closing of this video, I did want to quickly talk about GQ naming Megan the Rapper of the Year and how a lot of people think that this is just out of sympathy. Actually, a lot of people think that this is out of sympathy for everything that she's getting. Listen, I understand the concept. I guess I get where people are coming from to an extent. But regardless of what happened with Megan and Tory, at the end of the day, Megan has had a phenomenal breakthrough as an artist. A lot of people were saying that it should have went to Lil Baby or Roddy Ricch, just like they were saying that Megan's BET Hip Hop Award should have went to Lil Baby or Roddy Ricch. Granted, Roddy Ricch has come up a lot and Lil Baby has had a very, very great year. However, Megan has had a great year too, with all the BS aside. Just because Megan and the rest of the girls are female rappers doesn't mean that that is a whole different genre. It's still rap. Just because there is an award for female rappers doesn't mean that a female rapper can't be nominated or win the other awards. It doesn't work like that. At the end of the day, whether you're female or male, if you are a rapper, you are a rapper, and you have the opportunity to win any title unless it's specifically male rapper or specifically female rapper. If you have a title for Rapper of the Year or Best Upcoming Rapper, Best New Rapper, any rapper, male or female, has the ability to earn that title or award. Okay, that's how it works. When it comes to these awards and titles and things, there can only be one award per category. There can only be one Rapper of the Year, but there can be many people or many rappers who may be a great fit for those awards or titles, but only one can get it. I just feel like anytime between now and maybe a year from now, probably anytime Megan makes an accomplishment or gets something, gets an award, it's going to be quote unquote a sympathy thing. People are going to say, oh, she just got it because people feel sorry for her. And if you didn't know, Beyonce actually submitted the Savage remix to the Grammys. So if the Savage remix is nominated for a Grammy and or wins a Grammy, then that's Megan being a Grammy nominated or Grammy winning artist. Is that going to be for sympathy as well? I just want to know. Definitely let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments. What's your opinion on everything? How do you feel about the interview that Megan did with GQ? Do you think she deserves the title of the Rapper of the Year? And how do you feel about Charlamagne and DJ Evny being in their feelings about her running over to GQ to talk about the situation, but telling the Breakfast Club they can't talk about the Tory thing? Let me know what you think, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Like the video because it's good for your edges. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified each and every time I upload a video. And that's it for today. I'm going to see you guys in the next one.